I know you've watched about 10,000 kayak crate videos to build a little fishing box for your kayak. You need to watch one more because I have the absolute best kayak crate building video out there and you need to see it. Welcome back, friends. Today I'm going to show you how I built a little kayak crate to go on my Vibe Seaghost 130. Take a look at it, how it sits on the kayak, how it fits, where I place things, and I'll show you how I made the decision to put things where they are and why I designed it the way I did. But I want you to take a look at it on the kayak before we delve into the nuts and bolts of this thing. So let's get started. Now the first thing you have to determine is what size crate you want to use and get yourself a crate. Now I've been collecting milk crates for 25-30 years just out of trash piles and things like that. Home Depot also carries these. I don't think Lowe's does. Or you can go to a Yak Gear, buy theirs, but they're just way overpriced. There's no sense in spending a bunch of money on this project. Now my particular situation, I decided I wanted to have an extra compartment up top, so I needed 2 crates, and I just cut the top half off of one of the crates and made this other little storage unit. We'll talk about that more later. But that's going to be important as to where you're going to have your hinge. Next thing you're going to have to decide is, do you want rod holders on yours? Yeah, you can use some PVC and spend hours dremeling out all this and then zip tie them on there. It's going to look really crappy. I wanted mine to look nice. I wanted to look like I built it purposefully, and you know, using the right hardware, not having any excess out like that. I mean, I've seen some stuff where people just obviously used whatever they had in the scrap pile, and you know, 3/8 bolts to bolt on a piece of plastic just didn't make any sense to me. And no sense in spending a half a day building this stuff and out of PVC and zip tying it on and have it look crappy when you can go buy one of these for $14.95 off of Amazon. I got a nice black satin finish here. You can go to Academy, you can go to Bass Pro. They're about 20 bucks there, but all I could find there were white, and I wanted a black one. The other thing about mounting this is you'll have to decide, do you want it in the back of your crate, on the left hand side, the right hand side, or right behind the seat. In my particular situation, I can get to them pretty easy here, but some people aren't quite as flexible, and if you're right-handed or you don't have a whole lot of flexibility on one side or the other, you might want to have, you know, your rod holders on one side or the other. But you're gonna have to determine that, because then you're gonna have to figure out where your hinge is going to be if you're going to put one of these top storage units on here. Also, you want to mount this thing up even with the top, and the reason for that is down here at the bottom, if you mount these things down low, and I've seen that happen, your rod bottoms out and it sticks up out of the rod holder like that, and it's going to do one of these things. But if you put some space down here to where it just bottoms out against the kayak, you're going to be in good shape with something like that. As you can see, I've got tethers on everything. The way I designed my crate is if I tip this kayak over, which, you know, it's not a question of if you're going to do it, it's a question of when. More than likely that's going to happen, and I don't want to lose everything. And so I've got everything on tethers, and I've got latch here for my upper compartment so it doesn't open up and all my tackle boxes fly out. And I just thought it was a good safety measure. You can get these carabiners for, you know, $1 at Home Depot. And then I had in stock some color coordinated paracord too. So I'm gonna get this rod out of the way so you can see this a little better. So here's my rod holder. This is just the standard one, and you're gonna see these, they all kind of look the same. They've got some little eyelets in here where you can hang some lures on or something like that, but obviously that's probably not gonna be what we're gonna use it for. In my case, I just took my Dremel and I opened up this hole a little bit, and this is where I've got my Mora companion knife here. These are great little knives. They're about 15 bucks. You can get this is the companion. They have several different styles and designs, but they're all in the $15 range for the low end, and they are just a great little knife to have. And then I just glued it in with some E6000 glue, top and bottom, and so good retention. It's not going to come out regardless. Here's my little locking device for my upper compartment. Let's move around here, and let me show you this real quick so we can get it out of the way. You saw it on the kayak. These kayaks are kind of heavy, especially when you get them loaded down, and so I use a kayak dolly. This one, as you can see, fit perfectly on the back of my Seaghost 130, and I just use some of these, I just call them ball bungees, or you can call them tarp bungees, whatever, like this. It holds it on there nice and tight, and it still gives me room to put my ice chest right there in the middle. That was out of the way. Going around to this side, I have my safety flag. Now, when I go out on the big water over here, we've got a real big lake here close to Dallas, and there's a lot of people out there, and in the evenings there's a lot of idiots, jet skis and things like that. Probably had a little too much to drink. I'll go ahead and fly my little flag. This is nothing more than a couple cable clamps that I screwed on here, and this is nothing more than a driveway marker that I got at Home Depot for $2. And then I had some material, and I just took some Gorilla Tape and made my own flag. So you don't need to spend a bunch of money, 30, 40, 50 bucks on a flag. You can do something like this. And then this stores nice and neat in the hull of my kayak. I've got it all the time. Cruising around this way, this is a little different than what some people have. This is my anchor system. This is 3-inch PVC. I've got it angled up so I can easily access this with my right or my left hand. I can just reach back, and once again, to keep everything in there from falling out if I tump over. Got another $1 carabiner. This is a float from Academy, $1.95. It comes in orange. Also, yeah, you can make one, but I just like the way this fits in there. Keeps everything in there the way it needs to be. And then I've got all my cord in there, and down at the bottom I have a $3 anchor. I'll just show you. Easy to deploy. These are $19 at Bass Pro and Academy and everything, or they're $10 at Walmart. Same stuff, made in China, so no sense in overspending on that. Like I said, this is 3-inch PVC that I had in the scrap pile, and what I did down here at the bottom, this is a drain cap. Instead of using a regular PVC cap, which is big and bulky and frankly twice the price, they're about $4.50. This was about $2.50, and the drain cap also would make this stand out from the crate about 1/4 inch. Using this system, I can get this nice and flush against my crate, and it just looks really nice. Plus, when you bring your anchor in, you've always got mud, dirt, things like that in it, and this way it drains right out the bottom, no problem. And then I went to the paint area over there and pulled out some of my paints and put a little custom paint job on it to match the rest of my boat. Now, one thing you're going to notice here too is I've decided to get the proper hardware. I got some fender washers. Now, if you're fishing in salt water, you're probably going to want to get stainless steel, but this is just, I think I spent about $5 on all my hardware. I've got nylon locking nuts, number 10 screws, got the correct length. Anything that was longer, I cut them off with my little Dremel, and then I took a file and made them nice and smooth. I did that everywhere here in the crate. Here's my top container, and you can put bottle of water, your lunch, soft plastics, whatever you want to store up here. And then I just took some bungee cord I had laying around and to hold everything in. I used just some zip ties. I've got 5 pretty heavy duty zip ties here for my hinge, and then I just put in some paracord here so this thing doesn't flip completely over. It flips just past center, and that way it holds itself open. I went over to the hardware section at Walmart because that's the only place I could find black bungee cords, and I bought a pack of them, and I just pulled this knot out, undid it, redid the knot, and I cut and fit these to where they just have a little tension to where they fit into my kayak, holds it in there nice and snug. Now, as you can see, this thing will hold, we have 5 3600 plain old boxes in here. It will hold 6. You can put another one on top, or you can put a couple smaller ones like this, like I have for terminal tackle. So this holds a lot of stuff. If you need more than this to go kayak fishing, then it probably ain't the Arrow, it's probably the Indian. That's all I'm saying. So that's a whole lot of stuff. Check out my hardware here too. For instance, this one, when I'm reaching back trying to get out another tackle box, if I didn't cut this screw off right here, I'd be scarring up and opening up a nice cut on the back of my hand. So I just took some extra time to make this you know, nice and flush and even, so it doesn't mess me up when I'm trying to get something out. Doesn't snag on my skin, doesn't snag on anything else. And I used fender washers to back everything up here against this plastic so nothing would pull through. So that's kind of it. That's the quick tour of my kayak crate. I think if you just spend a little bit of time and really not much money and just think some things out. Of course, I had 2 days to do it since it was raining and crappy, but making tethers, using the right, you know, get the colors, make it the way you want, customize it, make sure it fits in the kayak and you can reach everything just the way you want, obviously without tipping over, and just maybe customize it with some decals, however you want to do it, and just make it your own. So that's my excellent kayak crate for my Vibe Seaghost 130. Let me know what you think about it, and if you have some ideas or comments you'd like to add, don't forget to put those below. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and share our video with your friends. So until next time, you guys be safe, and we hope to see you down the road. Adios.